Welcome to the Young Living Farm here at Mona, Utah. This is where our seed to sale story really begins. And this is an exciting time of the year, and it's an exciting place to work and to be, is here in the greenhouse. This year we propagated 1.7 million lavender starts that will be going into the field while you're here, and you'll get to participate in planting some of these. Every part of producing a pure, genuine, therapeutic grade essential oil begins right here in the seed selection, then in the planting in the greenhouse, developing the plants, and then going into the field. One of the things that is very specific, and the standard that I have set, is not just in planting the seed and how we do it, but it's in the seed selection. Before harvest, I have 6 of our field workers that go through the lavender, and they see the plants that are the strongest growing plants, that have taller spikes, the lush, beautiful, deep colors, whether it's a white or a light blue or a deep purple. And because of that seed selection that's so important to, again, the quality of the essential oil. And once that seed is selected after harvest, then it's brought here to the greenhouse, we go through the cleaning process, and then the planting begins the first part of March. And so from seed to harvest is a 3.5-year cycle. So every year we're planting, this year will be 150 acres of lavender. And we average about 50 acres in the year in the past, but now we're doubling that because of our growth. Young Living holds every one of our partner growers to this same standard. And we maintain the same standard on all of our farms worldwide, all 11 of them, and growing. We're proud of what we have and see this great journey of the seed to sale process. Young Living's standard for oil quality supersedes any production or wildcrafting standard in the world, because we've taken it to that higher level. And that's why we're so proud of what we do, and that's why I invest the money I do in our farming, so we can be sure that the oil that you have, the oil that you're putting on your family, your children, your loved ones, is the finest and the highest quality, genuine, therapeutic oil that exists in the world, without question. I'm walking here in the goldenrod field, and this is one of our aromatic plants that is really beautiful. When you come, this goldenrod is going to be almost double the size, and for some of you it'll be at the top of your head, and others will be at your chin. It grows extremely fast, and it's a beautiful plant. To my knowledge, this is the only domesticated, cultivated goldenrod farm in the world. Part of the work here at the farm is cultivation that's really important for all plants. You contend with Mother Nature and the weeds and grasses that come with it. And here, as you're walking the fields, you're going to see weeds. And you want to be thankful for that, because that tells you that we're not using the toxic glucophosphates found in chemical sprays for weed control. So a big part of cultivation is not just weed management and weed control, but it's also soil aeration. The better that you can feed the plant, the better the oil is going to be. And that's why Young Living's essential oils are so powerful, and the best quality you'll find in the world is because the effort that we put in to maintaining good quality soil management through our cultivation system. Enzymes are perhaps the most critical element in the soil in raising a plant, because the enzymes help the plant to be able to take up the nutrients, minerals, vitamins, proteins, everything that that plant needs. Even the conversion of the carbon dioxide, the oxygen, the water, all of that is facilitated by enzymes. So keeping the soil rich in enzymes is so important. There's another element that goes into our fields that I haven't mentioned, that I believe is just as important as enzymes. Our employees, and only the employees that love their job and love working with the plants, work in the fields, because that love, as you know, is the activating force of all healing. They give their love to these plants just in their work and their energy. These folks that work here and on all of our farms know what is important and why it is important.
Young Living is recognized as an innovator in essential oil distillation. We use a gentle, proprietary steam extraction technique for distilling the most effective essential oils, as well as using cold pressing and resin tapping methods for select oils.
Now I'm really excited because here in Highland, we innovated the first time in the world of a distillery being completely computerized. You're going to see that here in Utah today as you're visiting the distillery, as we have taken it to another step here that is even more exciting. Also, cameras that are being installed so I can monitor the distillation from my iPhone any place in the world. So as soon as oils start coming off the separator, we have one of our lab people pull samples and bring them here to the lab. This is another aspect of Young Living that sets us apart from everybody else in the world, because we test our oils right on location where they're being distilled. Now, why is that important to me? As a grower of the plants and a distillator of the plants for oil, I need to be able to study that oil and really identify the right time for the harvest as well as the right time for distillation. I can only do that by pulling samples every 15 minutes and bringing them up here, injecting them into our auto sampler that goes into the GC. If we come over here to this little demo board that we put together for teaching, that's what we tried to create here. This is a symbol of a column that we're looking at back here in the oven. So by testing the oil, particularly on new plants that we're discovering for the first time, we will run actually hundreds of tests to determine the best time of the year, the best time of the harvest, the best time of the day for the harvest, and then there's another part of it. How long does that plant material lay on the deck before it's actually distilled? All of these are variables that will affect the plant and the maturing time to create the richest oil that can be extracted. Only through the testing and the analysis can we discover that. Young Living is in charge of every single oil that's distilled because we want the highest quality that can be afforded in the world. And that's our commitment to our seed distill process. And this is part of it. So a laboratory where we can do the GC, the mass spec, the optical rotation factors, all of these are so critical in being able to produce the highest quality essential oil in the world without question. Here we are in the bottling lab, and this is the final step before your oils arrive at your doorstep. Now, one of the things that I just want to back up a little bit and explain to you, when the oils come out of the separators in the distillery, they go into these stainless steel drums. You need to know that Young Living oils, from the time they go in the extraction chamber until they go into your bottle, only touch stainless steel or glass. So the oils go into the stainless steel drums, they're brought into what we call the decanting and filtering lab, where they're put through the stainless steel containers, stainless steel pipe, going into glass separation funnels. We're able to control with the petcock here the amount of oil that drips out, where we can separate the finest oil droplet until we capture only the oil that we bring over here. This is not our main production lab, naturally, but in our distilleries in Utah, here in Highland, St. Mary's, and Ecuador, we have a simple bottle capping and labeling assembly set up. So when our distributors come for the harvest, they love to come here in the production lab and simply fill the bottles, put the caps on, and then spin the label. So they get to experience when they come to the harvest, and I'm going to say this, when you come to the harvest, you get to experience the entire seed distill process. Folks, this is what makes Young Living extremely special and extra special. And not just because I say so, but because we live it. We don't talk it, we live it. We practice what we preach. So my quest is we, Young Living, will always be pioneering and setting the highest standard that exists in the world today. Young Living, seed to seal process, our commitment and dedication to quality for you.